Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get started. And here I was thinking I was going to be able to do a smooth intro, then I forgot that my phone wasn't next to me so I could see chat while I read. Let me grab it. All right. Got my phone here, so now we can continue. Let's get started. Hybrid, good to see you. Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another Sakamoto Days reading. Today, we are going to be checking out Volume 15 of the series, titled The Assassin Exhibit of the Century. So to give you a little bit of a recap of what we pretty much went through in the last reading, we got the flashback of Sakamoto, Nagumo, and Rion during that time when Uzuki was being told, hey, you need to take the mother and wife of the chairman of the JAA hostage. So things get serious, everybody gets poisoned, and when Uzuki is looking to, take himself out, Kindaka, who's also poisoned, uses his extreme speed in order to save the last bit of antidote that will allow Uzuki to survive this poison. But in doing so, he also causes that poison to spread through his entire body in pretty much an instant, and now Kindaka, who's still very much alive in the present day, I thought he was dead, he's now in a coma because of that. But because of his actions, Uzuki was then hunted by Rion Akao, and she goes off on her own in order to hunt him down and deal with him. When Sakamoto gets wind of where Uzuki is, he runs into Uzuki, who's standing over the supposed dead body of Rion Akao. And that is the whole... That's what we were led to believe. And it shows Sakamoto and Uzuki fighting. Fast forward many years... Well, not really fast forward many years, but fast forward many years, and we cut to Nagumo, who's, still enlisting the I want to say, reluctant help of Mr. Yotsumura, and we come to find out that the person who put a bounty on Sakamoto was apparently none other than Ryo Nakao herself, because every assassin has their own specific ID that they are able to use in order to do certain things in this world. And the ID that is linked, that hasn't been used in years, the ID that is linked to Rion Akao was the one that put the billion bounty on Sakamoto. And it lines up with what Sakamoto remembers Rion saying, like, oh, Higuchi's worth this much, and Koba is worth this much, so that must mean you're worth $1 billion. So now it's in Nagumo's head, like, only Rion said something along those lines. So it can't be possible. Rion is alive? So now we have that thought just out there. So on top of that, cut to Thailand, where we have Sakamoto, Shin, and Heisuke, as they're there to find the warehouse where Uzuki and his people are in order to, rescue Mafuyu and Toramaru, but also deal with Uzuki and his crew. And Heisuke has a bit of an adventure with Hio, who, he's a member of the Order. But Heisuke gets his bag stolen, and it leads to a specific location, a construction site, where apparently we had more people of Uzuki's group show up, one of them being called Kumanomi. And she has this very powerful electromagnetic, I wouldn't say gloves or anything, but she's she's very versed in using electromagnetism, which of course does a little damage to Hio by having his literal right ear ripped off. So now we have a member of the Order who's going up against a member of Slur's group. And that's where we left off. The chapters we're going to be going through today are chapters 125 all the way to 133, and then next week will be volume 16. I'm slowly but surely catching up. Let's begin with chapter 125. Well, actually, days 125, my turn. Because in the last chapter, Hio and Kumanomi were fighting on a freeway. And Hio got bombarded with a whole bunch of metal, and Kumanomi, using her electromagnetism, yanks him out of the bus and slams him into a nearby car. He easily gets back up and immediately starts taking off anything he has on him that is metal. He starts taking off all of his earrings. He starts taking off anything that could be magnetic that she could use on him against him. I always got to refresh chat on my phone because it won't track well. Man, Medella, welcome. It's good to see you as always. We got 5 people in here. Welcome, everyone, especially if you're new. So Hio immediately starts, also, link in the description down below of where I'm reading from. Or use a different side of your choice if you can't, if it won't let you actively look at that page, at that chapter that I'm looking at. Just look up Sakamoto Days 125 and you'll be able to see what I am reading. But he takes everything off and Kumanomi sees this. Electromagnetic powers are gonna be a real pain. The city's full of magnetic objects. In other words, the whole city itself is their arsenal. And Kumanomi, whole city itself is their arsenal. There. But, okay. In other words, the whole city itself is their arsenal. Then it shows a dude in like a nearby tuk-tuk, and his entire vehicle starts lifting into the air. Yeah, his entire vehicle starts lifting into the air. I was sorry. That kind of back to peak. Calzone, good to see you. Sorry, when he said Hio, I thought something, but then I remembered the whole interaction with like Toramaru and Mafuyu with Kumanomi. So I was thinking like, what there? But she's a she. But yeah, the whole city itself is their arsenal. And then Kumanomi takes that entire tuk-tuk and throws it at Hio, who dodges away, but it winds up completely totaling the car. Whoever was in this car, mind you, is dead. Because this whole thing flattened the car from grill to trunk. Whoever was in this car is just straight up dead. And while those pieces are flying in the air in front of Hio, Kumanomi uses her abilities and she starts drawing all those pieces behind Hio to drive him towards her. And when that happens, she hits Hio directly in his chest. But to her surprise, he's unfazed and he just starts smiling. I've got a pretty good read on your attacks now. And then Kumanomi immediately jumps backwards. And then Hio puts on some knuckle dusters. He puts on some brass knuckles. You're too excited. It's my turn now. And as he says this, Kumanomi throws a whole bunch of shards of metal at him. And before we know it, Hio has already punched a hole in, because she tried to create like a barrier in front of herself and Hio. And Hio just punches straight through it. It is a almost perfect circle of where the impact was. He just punches straight through the metal and hits her and sends her flying back. Weak. That's not enough to stop from being blasted away. And then Kumanomi just bounces backwards and jumps on top of a whole building, just casually. Jumps on top of a whole building.
Powerful enough to bust through steel. It's not humanly possible. He's like a jackhammer. This is something I learned from the boss, but
Oh wait, this is a Hio saying, "This is something I learned from the boss, but at times willpower can surpass technique." And Hio just starts running towards Kumanomi. And Kumanomi raises her hand and she brings down a whole bunch of signs. And mind you, the last hit that Hio did to her, she drew blood. She drew blood from that. And then Kumanomi brings down a whole bunch of signs that are around her, brings it down in front of her to create like this big, thicker wall of metal, and he just punches straight through that. If one can maximize weight and speed, boom! Even a fist can become a cannonball. And not only does he punch through all of these signs, but he also punches her even further down an alleyway where they are. He just punches through every single one of these signs as if they are nothing. I like Hio.
You meathead.
And she skids to the side. And then Kumanomi raises her hand once again, blood dripping from the mouth, and she draws every knife from every stand because it's not actually an alleyway. It's just a marketplace. She's in the midst of a marketplace full of food where people are actively cooking. Please don't show me any good food because I'm kind of hungry. I know I had a late lunch. It was like a good old bowl of cinnamon, brown sugar and cinnamon oatmeal with a little bit of honey. And don't show me good food. But she uses her electromagnetism and she draws every single knife, every single bladed object that's around her, and basically turns it into her own extendable whip of knives. It's a literal whip of knives. This looks even more dangerous than the whip sword that Uzuki had. But she takes this whole big whip of knives and she jumps in the air and she tries to slash at Hio. And Hio notices civilians around, and he immediately punches in a way where it keeps from hitting actual people. Of course, in the process, a couple knives find themselves embedded in his shoulder, which he just casually rips out. And then the civilians who got saved by him are just screaming, "Ah!" Then Kumanomi again.
You're creeping me out. You think you're a hero or something?
That attack wasn't even worth getting out of the way for.
With a softy like you in the order, any respect I had for them has been quashed.
Quashed? Shouldn't it be squashed?
Any respect I had for them has been quashed.
Don't worry, I'll take care of you. In the name of the order. And, oh wait, he says it and she says it. In the name of the
order, right?
Ugh.
All you guys ever talk about is order this and order that. Everyone in it thinks they're a bunch of gods or something. Seeing you reminds me that I'm glad it didn't happen.
What the heck are you talking about?
Who knows?
As she motions her fingers, and then entire screws that are embedded in different objects, actually, she just takes 2 screws out. She takes 2 screws out and catches it in her hand. And then she puts her hands up. She puts her hands up and she starts charging the screwdrivers. And she fires them. She's a living railgun. A certain scientific railgun? What is this? She takes the screw. Wow. Okay, someone's been paying attention to Pain during his invasion of the Hidden Leaf Village. Someone saw the fight between him and Kakashi. She just takes these screws and using a hole within her fingers, she channels her electromagnetic energy and shoots it forward like a literal railgun. A coil gun. And he sees these objects, and it shows a kid in the background who's running, who's directly in the path of these 2 screws. And Hio immediately steps in the way. And it definitely does some damage because it shows the impact of it hitting him in the face and another screw going straight through him, straight through his right shoulder. Their attacks have been setting me up for this one shot. And Hio's coughing up blood. The attack went straight through his, it looks like it grazed through his hand and hit him directly in the eye, and the other one just went straight through his shoulder, and he's bleeding from both spots. Their attacks have been setting me up for this one shot.
All right, this is the end. So I'll tell you one last thing.
And she flips another, and she just flips up a nail this time.
Your personality is fatally incompatible with being an assassin.
Darn it. I'm the one who knows that best. I can't become a true assassin. I keep thinking about things I don't need to think about. I can't be like Nagumo, who has no illusions about what he does. I don't have the guts to go legit and quit like Sakamoto. I've been working so hard all this time. I don't have the courage to throw it all away just because it doesn't suit me. What a joke. Some part of me is satisfied that I can die as a member of the Order. And Hio just resolves himself to just die in this moment. Woo! And right when it gets close, and right when she fires this nail at Hio, something comes in, and I knew it! I knew it was gonna happen! Something comes in, and it destroys the nail. Pew! And he's shocked to notice that it's Heisuke! I knew Heisuke was gonna come back. And Heisuke goes, "You'll be fighting me from now on." That's what I want to say, but they're really scary. Huh, Pisuke? Boo! Heisuke. And then Kumanomi is just looking indifferent. That's the end of chapter 125. Onwards to chapter 126! Heisuke's here. Days 126. I'll kill you later. You alright, Hio? Then it shows Kumanomi. Why'd you come back, Heisuke? Huh? You're gonna die too. Just get out of here. No can do. Don't start getting attached. Oh, don't start getting attached now. You might not be much of an assassin, but even you should understand that. If you really believe that, then you wouldn't be caring about what happened to me, yo. Stupid brat. And Kumanomi's just staring.
That boy, he took out my coil gun from that distance. Was it luck?
And Kumanomi draws up another screw.
Well, I don't care either way.
Step back, hey. And then as Hio would say, like, step back, Heisuke, because he knows what Kumanomi's about to do, Heisuke just takes the opportunity to use Hio's raised arm as like a rest so he can aim, and immediately destroys the nail between her fingers. Okay, I knew Heisuke had some skills with a rifle. Bro, do you realize how accurate you have to be to destroy a nail through the circle of someone's fingers without actually destroying the fingers in the process? And she's shocked.
Huh? Where'd that come from?
And Hio's kind of surprised as well. You took too long to fire. Sorry, but when it comes to sniping, I don't think I'm gonna lose.
Huh?
And then Hio is kind of shocked as well, and he goes, "You idiot, Heisuke! Why didn't you go for a headshot?"
Hey, are you mocking me?
Crap.
You aren't even prepared to kill. What is a wimp like you gonna do in this fight?
She's actually getting upset that Heisuke just casually shot the screw in between her fingers but didn't go for a headshot. She's actually getting bothered by the fact that he chose to take out the screw rather than take her out, even though Heisuke could have clearly taken out Kumanomi in that instant. But she gets mad and she starts running her fingers through her hair. I can't do it because my hair is short. There's not enough to run through. But she starts doing that, and she starts raising up metal pieces around her.
Heisuke, no matter how good of a sniper you are, if you're not prepared to kill, then you'll just be in the way.
Shut up! I don't care about your rules. And both Kumanomi and Hiro are like, what? I'm fighting because I want to protect my friend, yo! And normally people fight for different reasons. If you got a problem with that, then come at me, yo!
Friend? Is he talking about me?
And then Hio actually genuinely smiles.
Whatever. You know, when there's a huge gap in skill between assassins, words are meaningless.
And she sends like this big, she ends up sending like this big amalgamation of metal directly in front of him. Hio and Heisuke jump out of the way, but in that instance, even though there are shards of metal flying towards Heisuke, he doesn't lose focus. There are pieces of metal, one goes directly into his forehead. Now, mind you, it's like a small piece, you could easily just take out and put a bandage over it. But it's still a shard of piece of metal, though. Piece of metal goes straight into his head, just right into the meat of his forehead, and another one slices him across the cheek, but he still remains focused and fires as Kumanomi is dropping down. And he fires, and all those metallic pieces that she has, he ricochets a shot over every single... Bro, this dude's ability to aim with trajectory and perfect ricochet shots is insane. Because it goes in directions that bullets should not go anywhere at all. He fires and it ricochets and it grazes her in the shoulder, like it on her left shoulder. Because the shot goes in front and then ricochets down and then it goes forward again and then it ricochets back from behind her and hits her on the reverse side of her left shoulder.
Can he control ricochet shots?
And Keisuke immediately reloads. Bruh, this is the reason why I like snipers. This is the reason why I like playing a sniper in video games. Because it's so satisfying to get all those perfect shots. And then she tries to bring some metal down on him to take him out, and Hio comes in and grabs Heisuke all of a sudden.
I see. Bullets are mostly made of lead. They're not affected by magnetic forces. Plus, he can attack long distance via ricochet shots.
Thanks, yo!
Heisuke might be the worst possible enemy for that magnet lady. Maybe.
Against a sniper, all I have to do is get closer. You're just a small fry.
And in an instance, she raises her hand, and apparently she used electromagnetism to draw herself to the metallic pole that's directly behind Heisuke. In an instant, she's already there. Imagine the amount of G-forces for you to just instantly be behind a person while you're forcibly being pulled. Just imagine the G-forces. And Heisuke starts to look back, but before that happens, he starts to look back as Kuma is preparing to come down on him, but Hio destroys the entire structure.
Darn it. The big one's starting to recover, too. They're attacking with a good mix of long and close-range attacks. And since he showed up, things haven't been going my way. Honestly, if this goes on for too long, I'm gonna get tired.
I'm gonna keep showering her with bullets, yo! Hio! He didn't say yo. I didn't say the H part of Hio enough. I'm gonna keep showering her with bullets, Hio! And then Kumanomi drags her hand across the pavement and then throws something in the way of Heisuke's shot. And it blocks it. Barehanded? No. What the heck is that? And there's something just floating around her hand now. Like there's this visible field floating around her hand.
Iron sand. She's using strong magnetic forces to increase the density.
Oh, okay. So she's using what is it? The third Kazekage's third Kazekage's jutsu. She can use sand jutsu now just to shield herself. Then Kumanomi, I think she punches into the ground. Yeah, I think she punches into the ground and she grabs more iron sand to use.
The trick to tidying up is to start with the small things.
And she immediately starts booking it towards Heisuke, and he immediately fires, but he misses his shots. Then Kumanomi throws some of that iron sand directly into his eyes. And when he opens his eyes just a little bit to see, Kumanomi hits him directly in the chest, sending him flying into a nearby building. Heisuke! And as he says this, Kumanomi's directly behind him, and they both just start trading blows.
Next. How long can you last with one eye?
Who knows?
And then Heisuke, who's cratered into a nearby wall, he can only see Kumanomi and Hio as heavily hazy shapes because his vision is impaired, massively impaired.
Dang it. I can't see anything. Oh.
Sorry, I had to get rid of that. That was off to the side.
Dang it. I can't see anything.
And he starts rubbing his eyes. Don't rub your eyes.
I just thought of something better. I can see much better like this.
And he just closes his eyes and he takes aim. And he fires and it goes directly towards Hio.
What's he aiming at?
And then Hio just raises his face. And I completely forgot that this dude had like a whole metal plating on his chin. I completely forgot he had a big old metal plating on his chin. Because all he does is just raise his head a little bit. And that allows the bullet to ricochet and hit Kumanomi directly in the shoulder. And that causes her to stagger.
Darn it.
Heisuke, I'll kill you later!
And he proceeds to hit Kumanomi directly in her midsection, just right then. And then Heisuke ends the chapter going,
don't get so angry.
And that's the end of chapter 126. Ooh! Oh, I like that one. Onwards to chapter 127. Days 127. See ya! And Kumanomi is laying unconscious directly in front of Hio. And then we have Heisuke. And he's just breathing heavily. Then we get Hio again.
That bullet ricocheted off my chin. You're pretty good, huh? Colonel. I'm trying to sneak in here. But this one lady, Kumanomi, is dummy thick. And my attacks keep alerting all of her electromagnetism.
I'm just saying as it is because I haven't been paying attention to how Kumanomi is. I promise.
That bullet ricocheted off my chin. You're pretty good, huh?
It's not a
compliment. I'm still gonna kill you. Well, anyway, thanks for the help. What I was telling you before.
And then Hio's whoa! All of a sudden, Hio opens his eyes and then yanks Heisuke out of the way as Hio gets hit directly in his other eye. He saved Heisuke because that would have been a headshot. But Hio gets sent, like his whole face is just splurting out blood. The dude already just had his left eye injured. Now his right eye just got taken out too.
Huh? Hio? Huh? Hio?
And it shows that Kumanomi has regained consciousness.
That was close. Seriously, I was actually unconscious for a second there. I'm glad Kay and the others weren't around to see this.
And, you know, she's still damaged, pretty much.
What? She can still fight?
And he goes He goes to shoot Kumanomi, but she uses iron sand again in order to literally block the bullets with her hand. That's how I keep wanting to say electromagnetism, but that's not a word. It's electromagnetism. I don't know where I get magnetism from, but her electromagnetism is so strong it can stop bullets. That's kind of broken when you think about it, because she can just walk around with an iron sand body shield if she wanted, and bullets wouldn't be able to touch her. But she stops the bullets.
You're gonna pay for shooting me.
Gah, iron sand!
Just so you know, I don't plan on letting you die easily. Good luck.
And she immediately speeds over to where Heisuke is and kicks him in the face. Then grabs him by the hair and just beats on him, just proceeds to beat on him over and over again. And sends him flying away in a shower of blood.
You really suck at everything other than shooting, huh? I can't believe you actually challenged me.
All of you with slur. Why are you fighting the JAA? What do you have against them?
And then Kumanomi goes,
Do you know about Alkamar?
Alkamar?
It was a scheme to take in young orphans and teach them how to kill. They wanted to artificially create order members.
That's what Alkamar was? So wow, that explains why everyone that sides with Slur right now are all ridiculously strong. They were attempts at creating order members. That explains why they're so strong.
It was a scheme to take in young orphans and teach them how to kill. They wanted to artificially create order members. These powers, fights, and our lives. We didn't want any of this. But in the end, the plan failed.
I'm not good at saying stuff like this, but
isn't it wrong to involve innocent civilians as you go on a rampage and destroy everything?
I don't know why you're hung up on that.
And then she takes a sign and immediately throws it at a civilian, like pieces of a sign and metal, and aims it at a civilian. Huh?
Like, who cares about civilians?
Don't do it! And Heisuke immediately goes to aim, and when he fires, she takes a piece of metal, puts it in front of her, and allows the shot to deflect into that same civilian, making Heisuke indirectly injure that innocent person.
Oh no, how horrible. Look what you did. You took out a passerby. Now we're the same. It's nice to meet you.
And it shows this man as he's doubled over in pain after literally getting shot in the chest because of Heisuke's misdirected shot. And then Heisuke, he starts shaking, and then all of a sudden, he gets yanked by Hio. He gets yanked by Hio, who's still moving after having both of his eyes taken out. Hio.
See ya, Heisuke.
And he just tosses Heisuke into a nearby stall. A nearby food stall, that is. And Heisuke is definitely unconscious from that.
The bullet went straight to his brain. Is he really human?
And then it cuts to Heisuke. It cuts to Hio, who proceeds to try and punch Kumanomi, and he punches her straight through a pier. He destroys an entire pier with just the punch alone, sending them both underwater. And while that's going on, they both try to hit each other, and then Kumanomi goes and uses her electromagnetism to yank the propellers of boats that are nearby and send them straight to Hio, and proceeds to impale him multiple times with these propellers. Like, he gets skewered. Like, parts of these propellers have sharp spikes on them for some reason. I don't know. I'm not on boats much, but they just impale him straight through the body, including a spot that is either it's directly on his heart or very near it. But when that happens, Hio immediately grabs Kumanomi's hand. They're still underwater, mind you. Much to Kumanomi's shock. And he's trying to say something, and the garbled words that he screams on the water is, "You're coming with me!" And he does his best to hold on to Kumanomi while they're underwater, with Kumanomi going,
"He's gonna drown and take me down with him."
And when that happens, Kumanomi goes out of her way to draw in as much metal as she can in an attempt to try and kill Hio before she drowns along with him. But no matter what she does, even though he constantly gets stabbed, Hio's a real one for this. He is literally just holding on to her one hand with like an iron grip. No matter how many pieces of metal she sends into him, he's still holding on.
"Hurry up and die!"
And it shows Kumanomi as veins start to, appear around her face as she's slowly starting to succumb to the effects of drowning. Then it's quiet. And then we see a hand come up out of the water, and it's Kumanomi. And then she pulls herself out of the pier and goes, "Tch," as she ripped off her own arm in order to get away from Hio.
Can't believe he wouldn't let go even after death. Bunch of crazies.
She ripped off her arm. Not her whole arm, but like a part of her arm. She ripped off a part of her arm, like her forearm, just like this much arm. This much arm she ripped off. Because even in death, Hio had that iron grip. And it just shows Hio sinking to the bottom of the water. Still with that firm grip on Kumanomi's hand. Wow. We just lost an order member. Like Kendaka, he's in a coma. Yotsumura, still around. Takamura, Takamura's still alive. Osaragi, Shishiba, Nagumo. They're all still very much alive, but we just lost Hio. I just said I liked him, and we just lost him. That's the end of chapter 127. No! Hio! Days 128. Master Nagumo. And we're at a new building. This must be a JAA building. Pardon me. Master Nagumo, I bear a message from JAA headquarters. What? 30 minutes ago, Order member Master Hio died in a battle with an enemy in the capital of Thailand. And Nagumo just stares. The details of the enemy are unknown. Floaters are on the way to investigate and retrieve the body. The execs want Order members to address the issue ASAP. Yeah, you just lost one of the strongest assassins in the world right now. And that's definitely something that requires all Order members to investigate. Then Nagumo goes out to a rooftop. In this world, the first to die aren't those who lack talent. It's the ones who are good people. And then he takes a gun and he just fires off a salute towards Hio. Rest in peace, Hio. And then it cuts to another location as we get Shin, Amane, and Sakamoto.
Mr. Sakamoto, Heisuke's currently on his way here.
Good. I'm glad he's okay.
That's weird. The guy doesn't usually use emoticons.
And then we have someone who's speaking in Thai going, "We've arrived." Sounds like we've arrived. And this is Amane, who was studying how to understand Thai on the way over.
It should be around here, the abandoned warehouse district from Wu-Tang's map. Slur's out there somewhere.
And then Amane's kind of silent a little bit.
Amane, don't give off so much bloodlust. We're not here to battle to the death.
Huh?
Our mission is to arrest Slur. First, we'll use Shin's enemy tracking abilities to infiltrate the facility. We'll wait for when Uzuki's alone. We want to avoid battle as much as possible, especially be extra wary of that silver-haired guy, Gaku. If you come across him, run.
Because Gaku is literally an example of a person who's just built different. Sorry, I gotta refresh chat again. Hio and Heisuke would have been best friends too. Yes. They really need to... YouTube really does need to fix their YouTube app so that chat is constant and it doesn't just stop feeding me information that you guys are saying stuff. But yeah, Calzone, you are definitely right. They would have been best buds. Even though it would have been far more jovial on Heisuke's side than Hio's, they would have... Hio would have liked to stand Heisuke, while Heisuke would have been like, yo, bro, what's going on? But yeah.
Be extra wary of that silver-haired guy, Gaku. If you come across him, run.
What's his deal? He wields an iron rod, and he's super tough. He pretty much obliterated Kanto headquarters single-handedly. At our current level, we're no match for him. Same goes for Slur Uzuki, that is. He wields a steel...
Oh wait, same goes for Slur Uzuki, that is. He wields a steel whip with blades on it. It's got a radius of more than 12 meters. It was so fast at Kanto HQ, I couldn't see it.
They're that tough? Can we really arrest him?
I have a plan.
Yeah, it's not like we're showing up empty-handed. First, we've got to find their lair in this abandoned warehouse district.
Shin, can you detect them?
Yes.
And Shin starts listening in to distances and he starts picking up a voice.
Yes, I'm picking up their voices.
Well done. Well done.
They're about 200 meters southwest. I think they're inside that old warehouse with the great roof.
Do you know how many enemies are there? Do you know how many enemies are there?
We're too far to get a clear count. I think 4? No, 5. No, this voice.
And it cuts to Uzuki, who's speaking. So, Kumanomi has already brought us a victory. The other members are already on their way to Japan. The other members are already on their way to Japan. It's all about time we headed out too.
Of course. I'll miss this old warehouse.
I'm trying to tell if this is Kashima saying those former 2 lines, those earlier 2 lines, or is it Uzuki who's saying it? No. This is Kashima saying,
the other members are already on their way to Japan. It's about time we headed out too.
Of course, I'll miss this old warehouse. You didn't have to wait for me, Kashima.
Well, I wanted to speak with you alone.
And then Uzuki is silent.
For the last several years, I've trusted you and followed you, but there's something I wanted to reaffirm before we enter all-out war. You've said that you will build a new regime after we wipe out the JAA. But what sort of world will that be?
Ah, that. A new regime. That wasn't the right expression. I'm not going to do anything.
What?
I won't interfere. The new situation that emerges naturally will be the best scenario.
But if we're essentially letting assassins run free, then what will happen to ordinary people? For example, Article 23 of the JAA regulation states no people other than the target shall be killed. Without that rule, there are people who will kill 100 innocent bystanders in order to wipe out a single target. Without the JAA's oversight of assassination targets, anyone who has money can kill whoever they want, even the righteous, even a child.
Yes, once we destroy the JAA's regime, assassins will be a more ordinary part of life.
But you said this was to achieve divine justice. Lately, I haven't understood what you're thinking. Sometimes you seem like a completely different person from when we first met.
I know. You tried to use that clairvoyant boy to investigate me back at the lab, didn't you?
Master Slur, I...
And then it just shows Uzuki's eyes when he looks at Kashima. And Akira shows up. This is a cold 2 panels. So it's 2 panels on this page. It just shows Kashima and Akira walking right behind him. And then it just shows an even bigger panel with her walking towards Uzuki. This is a cold panel. No one's saying anything. She's just walking towards him. And I'm just like surprised to see Akira and Kanaguri there. Just already. And she's just standing there. Mind you, one thing I never noticed is that, wow, how have I not noticed that Akira's taste in clothing is the same as Rion's? How did I not notice this? How am I just now noticing that her taste in clothing is the same as Rion's? They both like white shirts. They both like leather black jackets. Both got blue hair. Both like loose-fitting pants and boots. It's the exact same. But while she's walking up with Kanaguri, who's still recording, mind you, Uzuki's eyes start to widen as he goes,
So, you're Slur, the man who killed Rion.
And she just looks with, I wouldn't say dead eyes, but just stern, focused eyes. And it shows Shin, Sakamoto, and Amane, and they just start, and they're running. And that's the end of chapter 128. Ooh, what's about to happen? Next chapter, chapter 129, and we get like a color page here with Akira, and we have Uzuki, and we have Sakamoto and Shin. Days 129, reunion. And we have like a color page here that has Kumanomi, the other guy's name that I have already forgotten. I am sorry. I am bad with names sometimes when I get a whole bunch of names. Gaku and Uzuki.
X, I've come to kill you.
And then Uzuki's just looking at her, and Kanaguri is still recording.
Kanaguri, you slime. You just vanished after your assignment at the JCC. We never should have trusted an order member.
Silence, dear extra. Your voice is interrupting the shot.
Can't you see this is a great moment? Connected by fate, the two characters finally meet. Will Akira Akao succeed in extracting revenge? Da-da-dum! He literally says da-da-dum. Now's your chance to prove yourself, Akira Akao. Are you truly worthy of the role of heroine?
Akira Akao? I see. I'm pleased to finally meet you. So you're Rion Akao's beloved niece.
Shut up! Rion was my big sister, and my parent, and my best friend. The 3 family members I cherish more than anything in the world. You stole that, and now you'll pay!
I see. Then you should come at me right away. You seem to be hesitating to kill me. The longer you talk with your target, the more human they become. And she whips out a blade just from her sleeve, like Palpatine style. The longer you talk with your target, the more human they become. And she whips out a sword, she whips out a blade from her sleeve, Palpatine style. It's treason then.
No, I intend to kill you as a human. That's why I came here.
And Uzuki's standing there, and then we just get a something that flies. What is that? That's a. Ooh, wait a minute. Seba. It says Seba. Is that another one of his liquid nitrogen? Is that another one of Seba's liquid nitrogen grenades? Yep, it is. Woo! I'm kind of surprised that I remembered that. But one of Seba's liquid nitrogen grenades explodes, and it covers the floor, causing causing Akira and Uzuki to be caught up in it. And they're all just, like, surprised. And Sakamoto lands in the middle of them both.
Dodo!
Just in time. And then Kashima immediately takes off his deer mask and goes, Taro Sakamoto! And as he goes to try and hit Sakamoto, he immediately gets sideswiped. He immediately gets sideswiped by Shin, with Amane coming up right behind. Mr. Sakamoto, quick, get Akira! And Shin goes in with the full-on blow, and then we get Kanaguri. You again, Sakamoto? You're so annoying. How many times must you insist on intruding? I'm through filming a fatty! And Kanaguri, with all of his strength, breaks the floor where everyone is pretty much bound up by the liquid nitrogen ice. And it causes everyone to get loose. Akira gets loose, and she starts speeding towards Uzuki. And then Sakamoto spins his head around and goes, uh-oh. And Akira manages to actually stab Uzuki. I honestly thought that Sakamoto was gonna try and take the blow so that Akira wouldn't just murder out of revenge. I didn't think she was actually going to get him. It's a full double spread panel page of Akira stabbing Uzuki through the chest. Shocking Sakamoto, Shin, Amane, Kanaguri's enjoying this wonderful bean footage. Kashima's Master X! And then Uzuki is starting to fall away, and then Rion, with blood on her hands, she's standing there, hair undone, messy, huffing and puffing, shaking a little bit. And then Uzuki puts his hand on Akira's head. Is that the best you can do, Akira? Thanks to that, I was able to change with the perfect timing.
Huh?
Huh? You haven't grown much, have you, Akira? Have you been eating properly? Huh? What? You haven't grown much, have you, Akira? Have you been eating properly?
Rion?
What? What do you mean, Rion? And then Shin just starts sweating. I'm not looking at chat right now. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to look at chat right now. At a glance, he looked like Uzuki. At a glance, he looked like Uzuki. The vibe of his posture, walk, and demeanor, however, were all strikingly different from before. Another personality?
No, it can't be.
Don't be fooled, Akira. As Sakamoto is thinking back to when he saw Rion's body in front of Uzuki. Akao died. Who are you? And Uzuki looks at him. Private number. Leave me alone. Akao died. Who are you? And Uzuki looks at him and goes, You're acting all cool, but you really got fat, dude. You got really fat, dude. Huh?
Ow! When I laugh, it makes my stomach hurt. Ugh, don't come near. Ah! The words match their thoughts. What's going on?
And then Kanaguri's all like,
Quit joking around, X. Who asked you to ad-lib here? I'm trying to shoot a revenge story. Cut! Now get serious!
and before Kanaguri can say anything, Uzuki grabs Kanaguri by the neck and just straight judo throws him directly into the ground. And Uzuki goes, pipe down. And everyone is shocked. And then Sakamoto goes, that style of movement. Are you Akao? Looks like it's not just your body that's gotten dull, Sakamoto. I guess 1 billion yen was a bit much after all. As it shows Uzuki's face, and it shows Rion's face, and they're really... What? 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 No, hold on, wait a minute. What is, that's the end, that's the end of the chapter. What? What is going on? I need to know. That is the end of chapter 129. Onwards to days 130, reunion part 2. And then Uzuki coughs up some blood and just spits it out. Kanaguri is completely unconscious. Sakamoto, eyebrows raised and still sweating as he goes, are you really Akao? Jeez, you're slow. You took forever getting here, even when I went to the trouble of putting a bounty of 1 billion on your head. What? Amane, Shin, Akira, Kashima. If you're really Akao, why are you inside of Uzuki? Oh, that's right. Oh, that's... Go to hell. And then it cuts to Kashima going, I don't care who you are. Return that body to Master X immediately. You scum. You're tainting Master X. If you want to get rid of me, then knock me out. Go ahead and try it, you demented little dear. And then Kashima tries to rush Uzuki, or Rion in this case, and his hand immediately gets sliced through. And then his arm immediately gets sliced through. And it's Akira who's keeping Kashima from injuring someone she sees as her aunt. And this is a surprise to both, Rion and Kashima. Akira! I'm sorry. Please don't kill Rion again. So fast, you little... And then Kashima takes his available hand because the other one got completely sliced through. And one thing I liked about this one specific panel where Akira was slicing through his arm is that you can see the components in his arm. Or at least in the pieces that are currently sliced through, you can see the component pieces. You see the screws and the bolts and the nuts being sliced out as well. There's some detail there. But then Kashima takes his other arm and prepares to fire his gun arm directly at Akira. And Sakamoto immediately blocks it with a pen. Just blocks the shot with a pen. Toto! Akira, I was a bit confused too, but that's not Akao. I think it's a Persona X created.
No! The way she talks, her vibe, her expressions, it's all Rion's!
I saw Akao's corpse. The dead don't come back. Right. So it's a secondary personality. So the thing is, we have the side that just wants to destroy everything. And the extra, I'm getting it. The extra persona is patterned completely off of Rion. I get it. I think. Then Akira's eyes start to tear up. I agree. He's just trying to confuse us. And then Shin looks over and sees Uzuki. And Uzuki goes, Yo, we meet again, psychic kid. Don't get your arm whacked off in my imagination again.
It's the same.
Shin, who is it?
It's a woman's voice. One thing's clear, though. It's not a fake.
What's going on? And Kanaguri's camera is still recording. All right, I'm back. Pen, the best weapon? It really is! This thing can deflect blades. It can deflect bullets. I see why John Wick is so dangerous with, like, small objects. Okay, but we get Shin going,
It's a woman's voice. One thing's clear, though. It's not a fake.
What's going on? And Kanaguri's camera is still going.
The cast is completely oblivious to the camera. Me. Such natural acting.
And then Amane just looks at him.
My original plan was Akira Akao's revenge story, but things have taken an unexpected turn. Incredibly enough, her longtime foe X contains another persona. The very person who placed the bounty on Sakamoto's head, Rion Akao! How fascinating! What a twist! The god of movies truly adores me!
And as he screams this, Kashima just starts lashing out everywhere, firing on everyone, but mainly towards Akira.
You little girl, stop interfering! I'll kill you!
No, I won't give up Rion! I finally found her!
And as she's defending herself from Kashima, with everyone else kind of being swept up in everything that's going on, Kanaguri is getting himself some wonderful, beautiful bean footage. Then it cuts to Uzuki going, Akira. And all of a sudden, not only does Sakamoto knock away Kashima, but Uzuki comes in and hits him too. And both Sakamoto and Uzuki are confused by how they just came in to defend Akira.
Master X,
Kashima, we need your sense of justice. Together, we'll change the order of this world.
I won't interfere. The new situation that emerges will naturally be the best scenario.
And when Kashima gets knocked away, he just starts sending grenades out of his back. This dude has a reverse fridge, like Frankie. Frankie's got a fridge in his abs. In his abs, he has an ab fridge. He has a Frigidaire. He has a Frigga abs. He has that. Kashima's got a whole back locker in his back, and he just throws out grenades everywhere. It's a bomb.
A suicide bombing? Master X, I no longer know what justice is.
Then Amane comes in and using his 4-sectional staff, slices through all of the bombs.
Nice, Amane. Impressive.
Wait, Shin! And as he says this, Kashima spits out, literally regurgitates a whole grenade and just spits it out of his mouth as it's already primed to explode.
Uh-oh. He was hiding that. At this distance, we're all goners.
Then it shows Sakamoto and Uzuki rushing past Shin. Uzuki grabs Akira.
Rion!
And then Sakamoto proceeds to take his apron and launches towards Kashima. And then there's a flash, and the entire warehouse just explodes. All of the windows get blown out. Amane and Shin are able to hide behind something, and then it shows Uzuki. It shows Uzuki, who's completely fine, but he's holding an unconscious Akira. Sorry, Sakamoto. I'll explain the details another time. And he just disappears, and Uzuki just disappears into the smoke. Akao. Sakamoto, there's no need to chase them now. You'll meet again soon. The setting will be Japan. Japan. Why did I say that? The setting will be Japan. It's just getting good. Until then, I'll protect our heroine with my life. And Kanaguri just leaves in the smoke as well, because Akira is his muse for his perfect film. And then everyone is just left standing in the midst of this smoke after a whole warehouse just exploded, with everyone just merely dusting themselves off. And then Shin looks down and sees just the entire upper torso of Kanaguri, of Kashima. The entire upper torso of Kashima just there going, "Ugh."
Sakamoto, what do we do with this?
Is this the first time Shin has ever called Sakamoto without a Mr. in front? Have I not noticed?
Sakamoto, what do we do with this?
Master X.
Toss him, especially after what he did to the JCC.
No, it's not good to litter.
Right.
And that's the end of chapter 130. So much just happened. Onwards to chapter 131. Deal. And we got a plane, and we're back at Sakamoto's, and Kashima is chained up, just a torso, inside of Sakamoto's garage. They were kind enough to put his deer mask back on his head, though.
You're wasting your time. I'm not the kind of scum who sells out his friends.
I see. Do it, Shin.
I'll lighten up that body of yours. Stop! Don't take me apart any further, you devil!
As it shows that Shin is literally piece by piece dismantling Kashima by just taking a drill to all of his parts. The day after getting back from Thailand, Sakamoto and the gang are interrogating Kashima.
How much do you know about X's double personality? How many more of you are there? What's your goal? What are you plotting next? Cough it up! If you give us the information we want, I'll introduce you to someone who can fix your body. Shut up, you slime! It's no use. He's too strong-willed. His thoughts are walled off.
This is going to take a while. And then we have Lou, who's sitting in.
I thought you'd bring back a better souvenir.
Lou, how's Heisuke?
He's the same. All he's done since he got back is lie there and moan. What happened in Thailand?
Well...
Sakamoto, Shin, haven't we waited long enough? Let's kill him. These guys wreaked havoc on the JCC. If we can get information out of this guy, we might be able to get ahead of X. Besides, killing doesn't solve everything. Don't get emotional.
Fine.
And then it cuts to Hannah, who peeks in.
Daddy, it's lunchtime. Salmon noodles.
Be right there. And then Kashima is just left there by himself. In the dark. Chained up to a wall. With no way to escape. He's literally just a limbless torso.
It's always like this in this world. I've always acted according to my sense of justice. So why?
That dude has dangerous ideas. His eyes are creepy. Freaky. And this is cutting to like a flashback of Kashima's past. And then Uzuki when he first approached him. Kashima, I'll prove your divine justice for you.
Master X.
And then a shadow walks into the garage. And it's Hana. And Hana just looks at him.
Sakamoto's daughter. What do you want?
And Hana she has a backpack. She undoes her backpack and she stuffs Kashima in the backpack. She just picks up Kashima and stuffs him in her backpack.
Hannah will fix you.
What do you think you're doing? Don't mess with me. I don't need help from a child.
Mr. Deer, you can't move, but everyone's picking on you. I feel sorry for you.
Let me down. A growing girl shouldn't be carrying such a heavy load. It's bad for your back.
It's okay. Hannah's strong.
Hey, stop! This is embarrassing!
And then it cuts to Sakamoto and Shin, who return to the garage and see that Kashima is gone! I didn't expect that to go into that direction, I'm gonna be honest.
Look, Hana's missing too! I'll kill that cursed deer.
You said killing doesn't solve anything! Shin and Sakamoto are mad. Sakamoto's got anger veins. He's got a knife and a gun. This bruh is ready to break his rule when it comes to his daughter. But then it cuts to Hana, and she's just walking through the city.
Hup, hup.
And she's just got him on her shoulders in the backpack, just walking.
Where are we going? Do you even know?
Yes, we're almost there.
What a foolish child. She's as naive as Sakamoto. Fine, I'll let her fix me and then take her hostage so I can reunite with Master X.
We're here, Mr. Deer.
And she walks up to like a toy store. She walks up to a toy store.
Toys?
Wow, Hana, a deer robot?
Can you fix it?
I can fix it 100%. How do you want it?
Make it so he can walk. And also cute.
Cute?
Cute? Okay, I'll go with my interpretation. After all, Taro's done a lot for me.
Thank you.
2 minutes later. Bruh put Kashima's torso on tank treads with a bunny patch on the front of his suit and like stars on his shoulders. And everyone is just looking at Kashima going, cool.
What's with these goofy legs? How come you look so satisfied? I can't even control the treads either. I can't even control the treads myself.
That's okay. We'll go to the appliance store next. Believe in yourself.
And then we cut to a person who's at the front going, you want me to make it so it can move on its own? Sure. Anything for Sakamoto's daughter. Anything for Sakamoto's daughter, Hana. Still, that's one creepy robot.
I'll kill you!
Thank you, mister!
And he winds up... he winds up putting a fan on the back of Kashima.
How am I supposed to get around with the fan?
So refreshing.
And she just puts her face up to the fan so it can just blow this cold air into her face.
Hey, oh great, you're enjoying the breeze now?
And then we cut to another person at another store. You want me to give it arms? Well then, let's use UFO catcher arms.
Nice idea! Make them nice and strong, please.
Then we go to a Wi-Fi provider.
What Wi-Fi.
I don't need Wi-Fi.
How about a cotton candy machine?
No, you'll get cavities.
A cotton candy machine.
No, you'll get cavities.
Fridge.
No, that sounds cold.
Whoa.
This dude's got decked out with useless stuff all over him.
Wow, you're so useful now.
Those peasants playing with my high-tech body.
What are you drinking?
Diesel oil.
So, now we have Kashima. We got Kashima with all these parts. Tank treads. A fan that's attached to his back. UFO catcher arms. Built-in Wi-Fi. A cotton candy machine. A taiyaki machine. A refrigerator. And specifically, a ballpoint pen. And then it says, etc. What's the ballpoint pen for? I don't remember the amount of times I've laughed during the whole chapter. Bruh.
Is your body all better?
Does it look like it?
And Hana just starts tearing up. And then he notices. And then he just it's not even a patch. The rabbit face that is on the front of his chest, it's a mini door that has a spring-loaded animal face that pops out. It's not a patch. It's a door that has a spring-loaded animal face in it. What is this chapter? But Hana sees it, and she starts smiling again, and Kashima is just done as he goes, "This is ridiculous." Then he's silent.
Look, even if you're a kid, you must have noticed. I'm your dad's enemy. He's going to be angry about this.
Daddy won't be angry.
Huh?
Daddy always helps people who are in trouble. That's why Hana wants to be like that too.
And then Kashima's just thinking,
One thing is clear from visiting the town. For some reason, this kid and the people here totally trust Taro Sakamoto, the legendary assassin. I guess Sakamoto is fighting to protect these people. So, who or what was I fighting to protect?
and it just goes straight through it goes through the entire fight he had with Sakamoto in the past. And then, while he's thinking, someone screams, "That car's crashing into the guardrail!" And a whole car goes flying towards Hana. And then Kashima screams out, "Watch out!" And then, all of a sudden, a grapple hand shoots out, the fan on his back starts up, and Kashima uses his UFO catcher arms to latch onto some poles, and then puts himself in the way of the car.
I can't stop it! Hana, run!
But all of a sudden, a decent-sized foot in socks and slippers with an apron just steps up and fully stops the car with his foot. "I've been looking for you."
Daddy!
And Kashima looks up at Sakamoto, going,
When did you?
"You look ridiculous."
Sakamoto, I'm worthless now that my comrades have abandoned me. Go ahead and kill me.
And then Sakamoto just goes, "You don't get it. I'm not interested in killing you or X. I just want to stop you."
Why should I believe that? Why would you do that? People always have an ulterior motive.
When you tried to save Hana just now, you had no ulterior motive. And then the chapter ends, but there's still an extra bit of chapter going as he's thinking of Master X.
Master X. I'll tell you what I know, on one condition. You promise to save Master X.
Deal.
Also, here are the receipts for my repairs.
That's cheap. 2,000 yen. And that's the end of the chapter. That's the end of chapter 131. This was such a nice chapter. I love this chapter. This was so nice. And I'm so glad that the legendary assassin Sakamoto, having a daughter, he was one of the best influences on her life, to the point where she wants to be just like her dad, helping people. Can you imagine if she decided to become an assassin as well later in life? I'm just saying. Can you imagine? But that is the end of chapter 131. Onwards to chapter 132. We are almost done with today's volume reading. This was such a good chapter. This was such a good chapter. Let me refresh chat. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're still good. And we cut to... And then we cut to, in the past, to a flashback where Uzuki was talking to himself.
Don't get so angry. I'm sorry. It'll all be over soon. And then you'll finally...
And then to the present with Kashima.
At night, I often overheard Master Slur in his room, conversing with somebody.
Days 132, the assassin exhibit of the century.
I never imagined it was with this Rion Akao character.
Yeah, but first things first. Why are we doing this in my room?
The AC works better here. Then the reason you attacked the lab was to use Shin to read Slur's thoughts. Yes, but you thwarted me. To overlook evil is to do evil. Nobody understood my way of thinking. Master Slur was the only one who supported my brand of justice and showed me the way.
To overdo evil is to do evil. Sounds eerily like absolute justice from One Piece. Who cares if a couple of civilians get caught up in the way if it means killing pirates? Justifiable losses, Even though it may be seen as evil killing off a whole bunch of civilian people, if it gets the job done, what's the harm? Sounds like absolute justice to me.
My Master Slur was the only one who supported my brand of justice and showed me the way. We would wipe out the JAA and create a world without assassins for the purpose of the greater good. For the purpose of the greater good, we had to make a few sacrifices. But now Master Slur has gone too far. He isn't just intent on crushing the JAA. He's also going to destroy ordinary society.
And then Kashima just starts shaking.
He's not his true kind self. This must be because he's possessed by Ryonako. That nefarious evil spirit will pay!
No. She's not like that at all. That kind of thing would just be a pain in the butt to her.
Forget it. What a hassle.
Thinking back to how Rion would actually respond.
Sakamoto, clearly we can't see eye to eye.
Then Shin.
Let's set aside for a minute whether Akao is a friend or an enemy.
Yeah, it's pointless to discuss something we have no proof of. More importantly, dear dude, we want more useful information. Who are the other members and what are their weapons and their weaknesses?
I'm not obligated to share all that with you.
Sakamoto, let's hand this guy over to the JAA, or I'll dispose of him right here.
Don't make a mess in my room!
Wait, Amane. He wants us to stop Slur's rampage. Kashima, talk. What do Slur and his gang intend to do in Japan now?
Then Kashima is silent.
On October 31st, at the Okutabe New National Museum of Art, they're holding the Assassin Exhibit of the Century. They'll be exhibiting actual weapons, notes, skeletons, and so on from the past and present. All sorts of materials ordinary people never get to see. It'll be one of the largest scale events in the country.
Amane, I heard about that. The JAA is a co-sponsor. The exhibit is touring the world and it comes to Japan this summer.
Isn't that a lot to reveal in just a regular art museum?
Well, they do have a museum featuring instruments of torture in London. They did a serial killer exhibit and stuff like that.
So, what about it?
At that exhibit, a certain someone will make an appearance. Say Asaki, the current
I beg your pardon?
Say Asaki, the current chairman of the JAA.
He's a chairman. He's the chairman. The very person. The very person that was working during the flashback to bring down the chairman of the previous chairman of the JAA is now the current chairman of the JAA.
Huh? The chairman of the JAA? He's famous for almost never appearing in public. Why at an exhibit? Privately, he's an art lover and collector of antiques.
You mean?
The day the chairman attends the event, Master Slur is going to blow up the whole thing. People, artifacts, all of it.
The whole museum. Even if there's civilians in there.
The whole art museum? Why on earth?
On average, about 8,000 people visit the Okubi each day, short for Okutabi, New National Museum of Art. On average, about 8,000 people visit the Okubi each day. If he targets the peak hour at lunchtime, there could be easily 1,000 people. It would be one of the biggest terrorist bombings in the world.
The JAA is a hotbed of evil, but killing masses of innocent people isn't my idea of justice. Master Slur, forgive me. I want you to somehow stop that plan.
Bruh. And this surprises Shin, Amane, and Sakamoto. There's 1 month left before the assassin exhibit of the century. Then it shows a junkyard and Heisuke, and they both look Heisuke and Pisuke, and they both look very tired.
Dang it.
And Heisuke's aim is off. Family just got home with food. Let me help them bring that in. Let me help them bring it in, and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry for the wait. Got food here, so we won't be too long so I can eat all of my food in a decent amount of time. But we got Heisuke here with Pisuke, and it looks like we're at some sort of like junkyard or something. And he's trying to shoot, and he's not able to land a single shot within the circle. His aim is... he's been traumatized. He's been traumatized ever since Thailand. He can't aim at all. All of his shots keep missing and going to different spots except for dead center. His perfect aim is currently gone at the moment. And he's traumatized because he's still traumatized because he injured that innocent civilian way back in Thailand. And he's sweating, and he's having a hard time. And then he just drops to his knees, screaming in anguish. Ah! Pisuke, it's no use. Whenever I look through the scope, it brings back the feelings of shooting a bystander in Thailand. The whole thing flashes before my eyes, crystal clear. I just can't. And while Heisuke is standing there, a dark vehicle just pulls up and yanks him inside. Huh? Ah! And it's the members of the Order! It's Nagumo, Osaragi, and Mr. Shishiba. Nagumo having a knife to his throat is one thing, but Miss Osaragi is literally holding the full-on circular saw to his throat one-handed. That feels like a little bit of overkill. I'm just saying. But it's Shishiba going, Heisuke Mashimo, right? Don't move. Osaragi, no need to overdo it.
But Mr. Shishiba, you said...
I didn't say that. Osaragi, no need to overdo it.
But Mr. Shishiba, you said...
I didn't say that. These are Taro's friends from the Order. What do they want with me? And then Heisuke immediately tries to get away from Nagumo. Oh. And while he does that, a shot comes in, and Nagumo immediately forces Heisuke's head down because someone just tried to... shoot Heisuke, but Nagumo forced his head down before the bullet went through his head. I told you, you moron. Don't move. Other guy is an extreme recluse. Other guy is an extreme recluse, and he freaks out easily. Don't agitate him too much. A sniper? The Order has one too? So, Kamihate's back in Japan? I've never seen him face to face, but...
I have.
Liar. Anyway, getting to the point. I hear you faced off with the leader of Slur's gang. Tell us about this site and the enemy's weapons, appearance, personality, everything you saw and sensed. And that's the end of chapter 132. Yo, Heisuke is being questioned by the Order about what went down. So, for the final chapter for today, Days 133, Bait. The enemy is a blonde woman with cat-like eyes. Her weapon is a powerful electromagnet, and she uses an extremely aggressive fighting style. She's so tough that she survived a direct hit from Hio. Oh, wait. The enemy is a... Okay, this is not Heisuke saying this. This is Mr. Shishiba. The enemy is a blonde woman with cat-like eyes. Her weapon is a powerful electromagnet, and she uses an extremely aggressive fighting style. She's so tough that she survived a direct attack from Hio. I'm surprised you're still alive. That's only because Hio protected me. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. If I was stronger, Hio wouldn't have died. Nagumo is silent. Osaragi is silent. You've got it all wrong. Hio died because he was weak. That's all.
A speck of dust like you has zero bearing on whether we live or die.
What do you mean weak? He wasn't weak. He protected me and the locals.
But he was weak, wasn't he? Or else he wouldn't have died.
What? How can you be so cold towards your friend?
Look, you can't just kill lots of people and then get all sensitive when someone close to you dies. That's hypocritical. That's not the world we live in. Taking lives is our job. Use us and them too.
And then someone chimes in for a phone call.
Yeah? Kamihate has something to say.
Huh? And then he holds up a whole big piece of paper with the alphabet. I want to say the Japanese alphabet on there. And a bullet comes flying in through the back of the car again and hits.
Oh.
Huh?
Saragi.
Oh, he's saying Osaragi.
Osaragi.
He's too far away to see. He's too far away to see. And he's shooting with this accuracy?
Osaragi is cute. Okay, whatever.
So, back to the point. And then Osaragi immediately grabs Heisuke by the face after looking at the message that Kamihate sent, saying Osaragi is cute. He's not wrong, but she grabs him by the throat, goes,
You're coming with us for a while.
Sakamoto's gang has been butting in too much. It's time for them to quit poking their noses where they don't belong. If he resists, kill him, Osaragi.
She's crazy strong! And then the phone starts ringing again, and Nagumo goes, huh?
Let Heisuke go, Nagumo.
It's been a while, Sakamoto. I'll drop by for my souvenirs from Thailand later.
Shut up.
Taro! Beatsuke!
Let's make a deal. We'll share the new information we got in Thailand.
Oh, and immediately they tell everything that's going on. The fact that Sakamoto knew that the order had Heisuke, it was all like, let him go now. They're not even there, but just from what they gathered from Pisuke coming back, it was enough for them to realize that Heisuke was in trouble. That's a good bird. That's a good bird.
Let's make a deal. We'll share the new information we got in Thailand.
The assassination exhibition of the century?
X is plotting to assassinate the chairman. He plans to blow up the museum the day the chairman's there. Use the order's authority to call off the exhibition.
Where'd you get the info? Where'd you get the info?
That's a secret.
I'd like to tell you to go screw yourselves, but if you're so insistent, I'm willing to trust you.
Please.
But we won't call it off.
You intend to use the chairman as bait?
Yep. Wow. They're not going to call it off because the chairman's bait in order to draw out Slur and then try and eradicate him right then and there. I don't know how X plans to pull off the bombing, but it's our only chance to nab him, right? It's our only chance to nab him, right? Ooh, new subscriber. Cool. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But it's our only chance to nab him, right?
This is no joke. If you fail, more than 1,000 innocent people could die.
You're one to talk. You failed to eliminate Uzuki way back when, and now we're the ones wiping your butt.
You're so frustrating.
Is that so?
Wow, Nagumo is actually getting upset. He either has like a blank expression on his face, or a happy-go-lucky look on his face, but he's actually getting upset. He actually has an anger vein on his face. This is the first time I've seen this.
You're so frustrating.
Is that so? What children?
And this is Shishiba thinking this.
Anyway, I agree with you. Besides, we couldn't call it off even if we wanted to. Even if a war broke out that day. If the chairman wants to go, he'd never let the exhibition be cancelled. That's how a Chairman Asaki is. Not that I know him well.
Well, in any case...
Yeah. If they insist on showing up, we'll just have to kill them.
Can I go now?
We'll top you off.
And we get back to Sakamoto's, and Kashima is screaming,
The negotiation with the order failed? What's wrong with you?
and then Sakamoto squeezes his face and tells him to shut up, even though technically Kashima's face should not be in the extended part of the deer mask. It should be, backwards, and he's just squishing Kashima's deer mask mouth part in order to keep him quiet. Shut up.
The order's like us. They'll do whatever it takes to wipe out their target. The art museum could become a battlefield.
It's okay. We'll infiltrate the exhibition and stop the bomb plot before the order does.
I knew it. In which case, first off, we need to buy tickets.
Huh?
And Shin looks at all the times, and every single place is sold out.
Sold out? More than a month in advance?
Duh, it's a super popular event. It's been sold out for over a year.
Gah! We'll have to go through a scalper!
Yeah, avoid those. Especially the ones who are probably going to be trying to pawn off the PlayStation 5 Pro. You know, the console that no one needs. Be careful of them too. Get a regular PS5. You'll feel much better than getting a Pro. Because there's literally no reason for it to exist. Sorry, this is not a PlayStation 5 Pro ranting stream. This is a Sakamoto Day stream.
The electronic tickets are distributed the day of, and they verify your ID. You can't get scalp tickets. How can we stop the bombing if we can't even get into the museum? Our only option is to sneak into the museum that day.
Yeah.
That's impossible. You just informed the order of the bomb threat. Security will be ironclad.
Ah!
Go away, scams.
So this is a dead end? Now what, Mr. Sakamoto?
Oh, he's back to calling him Mr. now. And then Sakamoto is looking through the exhibit itself, and we see the exhibit topics. Exhibit topics: timeline of assassin history, assassins of the world. First floor, South America and Southeast Asia assassins. Second floor, Russia and European assassins. Third floor, the USA and Chinese assassins. And then assassins of Japan. I find it funny how Japan has its own section, whereas every Assassins of the World is just like South America, Southeast Asia, Russia, Europe, the US, and China, while Assassins of Japan has their own little section on the list of topics as well. Assassins of Japan, first floor as well. Early Assassins, Assassins of the 90s, and Assassins in recent history, along with assassination tools and the future of assassins.
Mr. Sakamoto?
It might work.
Huh? I'm not too stoked about it, though.
I'm not too stoked about it, though.
And then we get to Sakamoto's garage. And then Bruh has a whole nother room underneath his garage? He just opens up a hatch that's in his garage, and both Shin and Sakamoto go down there. And it's a gun. It's a gun with Sakamoto's name just scribbled on it.
There.
What is this, a super dirty gun?
It was my special gun when I was in the order.
What?
Wait, hold on. This is a cult government from the new student set they pass out at the JCC.
What?
I used it the whole time I was in the order because I'm not picky about weapons.
It's cool how he's not picky about weapons. Mr. Sakamoto, you don't mean...
Yeah, I'll submit it to the exhibit. The favorite weapon of the legendary assassin. They'll give me a pass as an exhibitor. They'll give me a pass as an exhibitor.
And it shows, and Sakamoto is holding up his gun, and it has a scribbling on it. And then Shin goes,
"What's with the scribbles?"
Nagumo and the guys did that.
So Sakamoto is going to Sakamoto is going to pass off his gun in order to get into the exhibit. And that's the end of the chapter. That's the end of the chapter. That's the end of the chapter. Okay. All right. And that's the end of chapter 133 and the end of volume 15. Okay. All right. So can I just say this? The biggest things that stood out to me the most for this entire volume was, one, Hio being the best guy out of the entire order. As brash as he is, his willingness to, protect civilians and also kind of get a little bit chummy with Heisuke. It was like, yeah, I like him. I like him. Then we have the whole moment where we find out that the split personality of Uzuki is that of Rion Akao. See, part of me was thinking there is no way that Rion Akao became Uzuki in that way. But no, it's literally his split personality. The one that doesn't want to be like a mass murdering psychopath that the regular X is, that is a personality that is completely and utterly patterned off of Rion Akao. Which was why Akito was fooled into thinking that it was her aunt, because Uzuki's second personality has emulated Rion to the point of perfection where even the thoughts of this split personality, this separate personality, is essentially the voice of Rion in and of itself. So that was something. Then we also have the whole assassin exhibition that's about to happen. And the chairman is none other than Uzuki's older brother. The same dude we saw from the flashback, who was in on trying to get rid of the previous chairman. He's now the new chairman! Also a very wholesome moment with Kashima and Hana, where he was willing to, put his own life on the line in order to save her, even though his body was pretty much made out of toy parts and stuff that you would find in a regular appliance store. All in all, this was a really, really good volume. Volume 15, really, really good. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to see what the next one is. I can't wait to see what the next volume is next week on Monday. But we're slowly but surely catching up. If I look at the list, we're already in the 130s, and the chapters are in the 180s right now. And if I keep going on my present course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I keep going on my present course, I should be done soon in the future. But at the same time, I'm enjoying reading all of these volumes. These volumes are very, very good. But I just want to say to everyone before I close this session out and before I start eating the rest of my food is thank you for being here. Thank you, truly. It is such a joy to read these stories to all of you. You guys listen to me, whether you are watching me actively or you got me playing in the background while you're doing something else. I'm just glad I'm able to be that, that little voice that can entertain you while you're doing other things. I love doing this. This brings me joy. So I just want to say thank you for being here. But I'm done for today. All I can say to everyone, from Adela to Hybrid to Joa to Calzone, everyone who showed up here today, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!